Back. So yeah, this is the second video we're gonna do tonight. Out of
Three.
three.
He can count.
Yeah, I go to college.
He goes.
So we're here with a little deck profile for you. So that new prophecy build that this guy's got, it's pretty boss if you haven't seen. So we're gonna show you a little more in-depth look into it, and yeah, if you don't like it, then fuck you. Let's go.
Okay, so start off with 3 breaker.
Because breaker.
Because breaker. There's no reason.
No need for MSTs.
Nope, exactly.
Well, that'll be an argument for another day, but
yeah, exactly. So then 3 spellbook Magician of Prophecy.
Mm-hmm.
Good little guy. Gets me a spellbook when he's normal summoned or flipped. Definitely run 3 because you need all the searchability you can get. And then, yeah.
He gains his effect when he's normal summoned or flip face up.
Yep.
So
you can either set him, you can play him straight
unless
out
you're
if you really
popping
want
him,
to.
unless somebody's popping him, then you gain that search, and it's
And yeah,
boss.
and he's only level 2, so you know, if anybody knows anything about the deck, he's pretty easy once you lose Grand Spellbook Tower, or even if you run Star Hall, which I do, but I'll get to that in a minute.
Stoic.
And Stoic. No, Stoic can only search at level 3.
Oh, right.
Can only search at level 3.
He's good for other things.
So next off we have my choice. A lot of people run only 2 Temperance because they feel that because you have to activate a spellbook prior to summoning him, or he has to be on the field. You have to have activated a spellbook before you use his effect.
And if you think that, you're a pussy. The deck runs around spellbooks. Run 3 Temperance. You'll be glad you did.
Oh, definitely. I haven't had a problem with him yet. A lot of people would rather see only 2 Temperance and then Justice at 1. Everybody agrees on Justice at 1, but I personally do not like her because you gotta wait till the end phase and then banish her.
Yeah. So many things can go wrong, between the time that you activate her effect or you summon her, and then the time that the effect resolves. You know, so many things can go wrong, but at least she's better than Fool.
Exactly. I got a Fool, and I thought he was going to be great.
You felt like a fool.
I felt like a fool because he has to have 5 spellbooks in the graveyard of different names to activate his effect.
Without that effect, he would be the best.
Oh,
he'd be so bomb.
Definitely.
Not only are you stacking your graveyard with another spellbook, but you're getting Reaper out. You know, you're getting something. You're getting Associated Flurry. You're getting Prophecy Destroyer. But Fool sucks. Some would say, like Mr. T would say, that he pities the Fool.
Exactly. He's a funny guy.
Yeah, I know. I'm on fire, man.
On fire.
Fucking fire.
Like a fire fist.
Oh no, we're not going to talk about Fire Fist tonight, man. That's
for another night.
For another day.
For another day. Anyway, so
I don't know what to think about them yet.
Back to Justice. Run 1 Justice because once you get her effect off, you're still plussing a level 5 or higher, light or dark, your choice, and 2 spellbooks. So you got to run her at 1. Next at 1 is 1 Stoic. At first, I didn't really like Stoic because what are you gonna do? You're just gonna set him, let him die.
He's not very stoic.
No, not very.
He's a wimp, but he has an awesome effect.
Yeah, great effect. Grab a level 3 to your hand, so that's obviously gonna be your Temperance. If you need Justice, go Justice.
They should have kept him as a Hanged Man. That was a much more awesome name.
Yeah, name change, bad.
They have so many crappy name changes these days. Like, I hate it.
They do. That's for another day, though.
Hazy Flames, kids. So, comments. Video comment, video, whatever. Leave us something talking about the Hazy Flames or some crappy name change. Like
we'll do a video about crappy name changes.
Give us things we should talk about. How disappointed you are how they changed the name or censored the card. Card censorship is a big thing that pisses a lot of players off these days.
Oh, definitely.
So anyway, back to the profile. I'm sorry we went off a tangent there, but new idea, you know.
Woo. Okay, so but back to Stoic. Stoic, great. You can grab him even if library, the Spellbook Tower is the only Spellbook card you have in your graveyard. You're still getting one search. You can still summon him. And if Spellbook Star Hall is popped, then you can get him to hand even if Star Hall is the only one in your grave. Actually, I think that's not true. I'll get to that in a second, maybe. I think Star Hall is different than the library.
Yeah. I forget which one's which, but
yeah. So
you're supposed to know these things, man. Come on, it's your deck.
It is. It's new. Calm yourself.
New
boy.
from Hasbro or Konami.
Konami. Next, we got 2 Valor, the androgynous fairy. Still, nobody's brought it up to us whether it's a guy or a girl.
I think it's because nobody watched that video.
Probably.
That's what we get for only having 8 subscribers.
Cheer.
Whatever. 8 awesome subscribers.
We love you guys.
Yep.
Anyway, we are very tangent-y tonight.
Yeah. We haven't done this in so long. It's like
I know we have so much pent up.
Yeah. YouTubery.
YouTubery.
To do,
yeah. So next we got the new guy, thanks to Cosmo Blazer. We got Reaper. Reaper's great. He's a choice for justice, a choice for temperance. If you got 3 or more in your graveyard, he becomes a 26. 3 different spellbooks, of course. And then 4 or more, you get to add a spellbook, and 5 or more, you get to special summon another level 5 or higher.
So he's that wild card, like that Christia style wild card. Like your opponent's always going to be counting your graveyard.
Exactly.
For their, for the kind of spell books in there, just because you apply all the effects that apply depending on the numbers.
Yeah.
So if you've got 5 in the grave, you can apply 3 through.
3 through 5.
Whatever else. Yeah.
Yeah, whatever you want.
It's ridiculous.
Oh yeah, definitely. Next, another personal choice. Some people say yes, some people say no. Prophecy Destroyer. I'm sorry about the photo. He's the ulti. I think he looks ugly. Mark likes him. Rudie likes him.
Yeah, that's the one that I pulled at the friggin' sneak, right?
Yes.
Isn't that the one? Yeah.
Yes, you pulled that at the sneak.
It's a pile of color and foil and texture and puke. But
nonsense.
He's so awesome. Like, I can't argue enough how good this card is. Like, people will sit there and be like, no, you just be in the graveyard. But you can load your graveyard with spellbooks so easily in this deck. It's just, you'd be a fool of prophecy not to run him. Oh, wow. So, yeah, rant over.
Yeah.
Keep going.
Now we got Chaos Sorcerer. You got Lights and Darks in the deck. Easily grabbable, and everybody loves his effect.
Only reason he's a choice over BLS is simply because he's a spellcaster.
Exactly.
I mean, 700 attack aside and a beastly second attack, that's not much. He's a viable target for all the spellbooks.
Of course, yep.
Why not? Now getting into the meat of the deck here.
Very meaty. Well, it was meaty in OCG. But since boobs don't exist in American cards...
That's where you were going with that? I was like, I'm just going to nod and... Yeah, it was meaty in the OCG. Sure it was. It was a super. It was easy to get.
Well, that too.
That's meaty to me.
But yes, boobs don't exist in America. So, she was meatier. You might notice Weren't they all? You might notice that my choice isn't as meaty. It's partially due to money. And partially due to, when I've been playtesting the deck, I realized that she comes up in my hand at the worst times.
Yeah.
I get screwed with her. I have no way of summoning her in hand. It's horrible.
She's a dead draw. She can be a dead draw.
She is definitely
going back to the, Naturia problem of should I run 2 or 3 bamboo shoots? Some people think 2 isn't enough, and then 3 is a dead draw, and it happens to you all the time. It's the same reason I only run 2 Megalo Abyss in my Mermails, which you'll be seeing later. But yeah, 2 is amazing. He's searchable. He's throw down special, and you can junk 2 in your hand to special him and search. It's out of control. But when you pick him up, when you top deck him, no cards in hand, the frowny faces never stop. Like it just sucks.
Horrible.
So only 2, and plus the fact that he goes between $80 and $100.
and so is
Yeah,
High
now
Priestess
so
right
does
now.
she. Now so does
Yeah.
Priestess. I don't know where that happened. She was, what, 45?
She was 45 at her height before. Now she just boosted up. I guarantee it's because people are now thinking about Spellbook of Master and
it's
the
hyping
one
over Cosmo.
coming out.
That's all it is. It's going to go back down again when people realize that Master is a crappy secret and it's best at 1, if at all.
Yeah.
And Fool sucks and Reaper is the only thing worth running in the deck. So
Of course.
yeah.
So last for the monsters.
Yeah.
Another personal choice. I personally love it. And it is Associated de Fleur. She's another high-level spellcaster, dark, targetable by pretty much everybody. Another thing about Fool I didn't like was you could only target... you could only target a dark for Fool. So...
That's not a huge downside.
That's not a huge downside because there are more dark targets in the deck than... Because High Priestess is the only light target. So now we get into the spells of these spellbooks. 2 Grand Spellbook Towers for wonderful recycling and plussing.
Except it can't target itself.
Except it can't target itself.
It would be too broken, but so funny.
It would be hilarious.
Oh, God.
Let me just target myself, bring it back. Great.
Yeah.
Only 2. 3 is going to be way too much. There's no need for it.
You'd end up throwing it away for other effects. Like
Exactly.
It'd end up sitting in your hand and getting thrown away. And then the instant it's just like Necro Valley. The instant your opponent sees that you're throwing away Necro Valleys or just setting them, it's time to start heavying. It's time to start throwing out MSTs. You're going to hit it.
Definitely.
So,
definitely.
whatever.
So next we got 3 Spellbook of Secrets. Definitely need the 3. Some say you could side out down to 2. I like the 3. Definitely gives you effect fodder when they're in the grave, and it allows you to thin the deck immensely. Yeah,
but you always want to side out at least 1 or 2 when you see a deck that's going to side in TKs or it's got live TKs.
Of course.
Made at 3 in any deck. So you're going to want to get rid of some there, but you have other options for sideboard. So.
Yes. So now we've got...
Oh, I love this card. Oh, my God.
3 Spellbook of Wisdom. Everybody needs it. It's the
Lance.
It's the Lance. It's the Lance. It's the Lance for the Lance.
It's a 25-cent Lance that does what Lance does, but better. It's only a defensive play though, so I can't really say that it does what Lance does better.
Yeah, true.
Because the minus 600 can be the difference between losing a monster or your opponent losing a monster. But I like the fact that I only have to pay 25 cents for one of those, and I've pulled about 40. They're just I've got a stack.
Oh yeah, ridiculous
cool.
amount of them. Now we've got 2 Spellbook of Power. Great card. Boost your spellcasters by 1,000 if they destroy a monster. Search for another spellbook to your hand. Great. Means you're not minusing. You're gaining.
My favorite part is though, every single one of these spellbook spell cards can target any single other one of those spellbook spell cards. Like if they have an effect that involves another spellbook, you can even search the tower. You can search spellbook Star Hall. If you run those crappy libraries, like Heliosphere and the Crescent. Even if you run those, you can search those because it counts as a spellbook spell card, and I love that. There's so much, so many options at any given time. You've got outs anywhere. I love that.
If they didn't errata pigeonholing, that would be
that was going too far. That was going too far. I was saying if they were gonna, even before this archetype started, if they start erratating old books, like if Book of Moon becomes a spellbook or something like that, like it's Spellbook of Moon, or that might have been going a little far, but pigeonholing Book of Spell is now Spellbook Organization.
I mean, they screwed the effects too.
Hidden, so it's Hidden Book of Spell is now Hidden Spellbook, or
something like that.
The trap card that back into the deck. And then was there a third one, or was that about it?
There might have been, but
yeah, whatever.
Not important.
Yeah, name changes this late in the game.
Yeah.
Not worth it.
People are probably losing interest right
Yeah.
now. So now we get to 2 Spellbook of Eternity. Great for when you're using the effects of High Priestess to banish. Then you get something back to your hand. A lot of people want to do 1 because they think it's a little ridiculous to be using the space for 2. But I definitely find that I am getting rid of plenty of spellbooks out of my graveyard to warrant 2, and it's a lifesaver. You can actually do so many different plays. I actually recently just looped Fate with Eternity.
That was such bullshit.
It was.
That was such bullshit.
I basically used Fate, took 1 out of my graveyard. Fate goes to the graveyard. Eternity, bring 1 back. Use High Priestess' effect, get rid of the Fate. Eternity brings back Fate, use Fate again, just loopy loop. It was great. Yeah. Which brings me to running 1 Fate. Mm-hmm. I think it's good at 1 because you can recycle it with Star Hall. You can Tower, I mean. Not Star Hall. Recycle it with Tower, bring it back with Eternity, and great effects. Banishing a card for getting rid of 3 out of your graveyard. Returning that pesky spell or trap. If you're worried about that deep prison and it's the only thing back there, you're thinking, oh, he's got a deep prison, he's got something, just pitch 1 out.
At the worst, you bounce a back row. At the best, you clear a card off the field.
Exactly.
Either way, you're going to be sending something back. It's good.
Mm-hmm. So then, 1 Star Hall makes the spellcasters beast. Mm-hmm. Just you can ramp the counters like no tomorrow.
They gain 100 attack points for each spell counter on that card, and yes, that is a spell counter. They brought back spell counters just for this card, so there's some wacky ass combinations you can do with this card, man. With like old decks like Endymion style stuff. Mm-hmm. Anything that involves spell counters have synergy with that card. It's pretty cool. But they gain 100 for every spell counter on there. Correct. Which is gained by activating a spell card. And they're a spellbook spell card. Yeah. And then when it's destroyed or when it leaves the field, that's the one where you add it from your deck to your hand, right?
Add it from your deck to your hand.
You add a spellcaster type monster from your deck to your hand for every with a level equal to or less than, I believe it is, the number of counters
on the card. Yep. Exactly.
Nice search.
So then we got 2 staple spells. Obviously Dark Hole and obviously Reborn. Now we go on to traps. Go 2 Bottomless, clearly. 2 Deep Prison. And then I have 1 warning in the deck now. I need a 2nd warning. I'm going to run it at 41. It's definitely able to cycle through the deck perfectly fine. So I think running it at 41...
you can just snatch cards out of the deck.
Yeah, running it at 41 won't hurt it at all. Yep. I just needed that extra warning because sometimes a couple of the spellcasters don't have the staying power that they need.
They have a hard time sitting on the field, especially when a deck can come up against it and step up and have more removal faster than what's in there. And that's pretty much when I play it with my Mermails. It's both of these decks can monopolize on removal really fast, especially like cards that activate from the hand. So unless you've got a debunk sitting around somewhere, you're done. Like you're minusing the field at least 2 or 3 times per turn.
Yes.
And it sucks. But it really just depends on your side out choices when it comes to that, when you're fighting for field presence that fast.
Of course.
But yeah, no, it's a good deck and it's a lot of fun to play, and I've loved watching it grow and evolve. So definitely, it's fun being a part of the process of something new like that. So yeah, anything else?
It's pretty good on my part. Still in work. If anybody's got suggestions, please leave some comments. Mm-hmm. I'm always open to suggestions.
Yep. So like, subscribe, tell your friends, tell your neighbors, tell your mom, tell your dad, tell your grandma, tell your grandpa, tell
your cousins.
Tell your cousins. Yeah. Tell your kitty cats. I know you got kitty cats. Everybody's I can smell them.
And remember, read books.
Yep. Books are good for you. Because having fun ain't hard. when you got a library card. Peace.